You gonna do? Awooga!
No, what? Chugga chugga?
Choo choo, motherfuckers! Hi, my name's Comic Book Frog. You may know me from other videos on this channel.
Hi, my name's Puppetine, and I'm an alcoholic. Wait, this is the wrong meeting, isn't it?
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being an alcoholic, unless you run out of alcohol.
There you go. Yes, hello.
Hi. So, today's episode is Outpost 22.
We're talking about The Walking Dead. It's the season finale, season 11, part 3, right?
Yes.
Episode 21.
This week's episode was not as thrilling as the other ones. We do get a dirt bike chase with Lacey between Daryl in pursuit of a Commonwealth soldier trying to escape. But other than that, not really too much high octane.
It's very low. It's basically a reunion episode.
It is.
Characters are getting back together. A group is coming forward, and it's mostly outside of the Commonwealth.
Yes, we finally figured out. So, following last week's episode, there was a bus. We had no idea where they're going. There was a convoy. On one of the basically the military trucks, basically, we get someone basically moving around. They're zip tied behind their hands behind their back. They move their burlap sack off, and it turns out to be Maggie. That's right, Maggie is in this episode. Kind of the main character in this episode. No, even though they're supporting characters, but it's her story. Maggie basically ends up, she notices that the guard is conveniently asleep inside the truck. I mean, I guess he must be working long days and he's tired. So, her being quiet, she pulls the sack off Gabriel's head, and tells him not to wake the guard. They do the little shh, don't look. And sorry, there I got some
zombie in your eye.
I got some zombie in my lungs. Guts. Anyway, so yeah. So they wake up Rosita. Only problem is that Rosita and Gabriel jump off first, the back of the truck, because they're the last truck in the end of the convoy. And we have basically they're escaping. Maggie's trying to jump off the truck. She ends up the bump goes over a bump, knocks her down. She ends up having a fight with the guard. She grabs a gun, shoots the two drivers. The truck crashes. And she runs in the woods.
Are we out of the woods yet?
And then after that, basically, we get Gabriel and Rosita waking up on the grass. Here comes two walkers, and they're not too happy. Rosita and Gabriel, because after they killed the walkers, basically the walkers were the dead soldiers running around. Rosita wants to go find her kid. She's worried about it, and she's ready to leave. And Gabriel's like, "Oh no, hold on a second." And she basically tells Gabriel to shut up, which I cheered for because Gabriel is annoying. Is the Eugenia's? He's just as like I said, he's just there as a side character. He doesn't really do much other than just question people. At least Eugene admits his faults and wants to die. I mean. Anyway, so basically those two agree to work together. They had, and next thing we always see Carol and Daryl are basically in the Jeep they taken after shooting and killing Lance Hornsby, as we're led to believe. But I hope he's alive.
How? He was shot in the neck.
I hope it missed the jugular. Either way.
He's dead.
Plot twist, bro. People never die in this show.
They always die.
No, they don't. They walk. So anyway, so they're looking at the binoculars, they're looking at the train yard. They found it. They happen to see Connie. Daryl kind of gets a little emotional because he wants to get his girlfriend back. They've been separated so freaking long. I mean, it was only last season or the season before that he thought she was dead. She was trapped inside basically a cave that because of Carol, it detonated everything. So she just wants to get some booty, man. And it's just so hard when everyone pretty much effing things up for him. And that being said, they see her being loaded on the train, and they basically they follow the train, and they're in the jeep. Well, meanwhile, we get Maggie, who basically is being followed by in the woods. She wakes, she gets up and is walking around. She's being hunted, and she sees this kid basically walking around, zombie kid, and it reminds her of Herschel Jr. when they were ripped apart from each other. When all the group of basically of the Alexandrians were being captured by the goons, basically the stormtroopers, Commonwealth soldiers. So she feels guilty, and she's panicking, she's worried. Then she hears a dirt bike coming, so she quick runs and hides in this ditch. And here it comes, and then she sees the soldier. He gets off his bike, walking around. The zombie kid comes up, and pretty much, we get this scene right here, where she ends up killing or actually stabbing the guy with the rusty road spike underneath his armpit, so he's slowly dying. The zombie kid comes up, and she basically starts freaking out because she can't kill it. But then she finally grabs the road spike you see right there, and she jabs the back of the kid while holding it. This leads to her basically being spotted by Carol and Daryl driving the Jeep. And they go meet up at this little outpost in a little farm, and she's pretty much just distraught. She's crying. She just feels so guilty because she said the worst part is not knowing. At least
she's okay.
So Carol gives a little heart-to-heart speech, and sadly, some of you are probably going to start shipping
what
Carol and Maggie.
No one's doing that. Let's not.
We'll call it Meryl.
No.
Yes. Well, this happens on Tumblr all the time. Get with it. All right. So then Daryl basically goes in, talks to the guy. He says, you piece of shit. After basically trying to sympathize with the guy. He's like, I used to work, your job because, I had a family, I had to pay for, the kids. He probably didn't see a boat, but then the guy won't give him the information about where the train was going to and what's going on. So basically, Daryl gets up, stands there, calls him a piece of shit, and then just ready to start kicking him, only for basically, I believe it was Gabriel to walk in, and they get a whole reunion with Gabriel and Rosita. They all take turns hugging each other like it's Thanksgiving. I don't know what's going on here, but Gabriel starts talking to the guy, and he basically the guy confesses. He's like, Gabriel's like, I saw you at the back of the church. You always like you want to confess something. So how about these two leave and you got your final confession, or something like that. Basically,
let me talk to you alone.
Yes. He gets touched by a priest, and then then we get this epic scene right here because Red Dead Redemption 2 with zombies. We see this awesome zombie who kind of reminds me of Eric, from I believe it was season 4 or season 6 around there. But basically, those who remember who Eric is. Eric was the gay lover of Aaron on the show. He's a dude with the mace in hand. And I gotta say, this guy looks kind of like him. Just a little bit changed. But don't worry. He gets taken care of by the Commonwealth. And there's the train. Yes, the famous train. For those who don't know, in the comic book series, at the end, the Commonwealth had a train. And their whole goal was basically to rebuild the world slowly at time. And they needed workers to work on the train yard. So they built up the tracks.
You should have seen Froggy's face when he saw the train. He was so excited.
Yes,
small little tears were coming from his eyes, and that's when I realized they were actually tadpoles. This was so beautiful that it created the gift of life from his eyeballs. You think about that.
As I ate Palpatine's flesh.
Wait a minute, what? Oh, is that where my legs went?
You weren't using them anyway. Anyway, so there's a whole turns out, as the guy walks out, there's a switch up there, basically the tracks divide. He doesn't realize that all this wood stacked up inside, jammed in there, that, maybe the zombies did this. Oh, who knows? It wasn't a person, obviously. He's trying to lift the gate up so he can do the manual switch override. Normally, this is done by, electronic, but since they have no electricity, and, it's been 10 years since anybody's used those railroad tracks, they basically need to lift it up manually. So they're stopped. Maggie slips in, takes out a guard, and then takes a conductor hostage. While basically Carol and I was gonna say Negan, but Daryl go in behind and take out the other guards. There's a shootout. Gabriel and Rosita help out. They manage to kill all the guards except for one. Who? This is where and cue the high-speed chase. Yes, we're not going to show it though because I prefer you guys to go watch it yourself. It's really cool. Watch this whole episode.
I want to see it though, and I want to hear the Mario Kart music.
Yes. I just gonna say, for those who are wondering when Daryl was gonna get another motorcycle, here we go. This is the episode. It should have been called Daryl's new bike. Every season he has a new motorcycle. All right, and then at the end of this, there's a chase, and then the guy wipes out, and Daryl just says, "Eat my blade." Yes.
I don't recall him saying those words, but yes.
He did it with sign language.
Meanwhile, there's a whole nother part of this episode, and it's small. I'm not sure how to feel about it. We get to learn where everybody was taken, and they are separated into two groups from the bus, and they are essentially put to work. They are put in labor camps, and they are going to be forced to work their way through redemption.
So yes. As the guy said, you're exiles. It still could be worse. You could be out there in the basically the wild, but here at least you have protection. We'll protect you, but you're working. But you no longer have names. You're no longer to speak to each other. It's like I'm not gonna tell you my name either because all you are is workers. I tell you when to eat, and I tell you when to rest. Or not. So basically, it's like this. We get a touching moment from Negan, who realizes, what, we kind of gotta do something. He's seeing everybody's getting depressed. 3 people try to run away and are shot. So as Negan approaches Ezekiel is basically having, of all times now, he's upset with Negan. He said, "I avoided you, Negan, because what you did with my people. Those remember the saviors were basically tormented." The Alexandrians, the hilltop, and the kingdom, basically for tithe or royalty for protection money. It was a big exploitation, and Ezekiel hasn't given Negan for that, and Negan says, "You know what? I'm asking you not for my help." He's like, "Damn well no, I should be in this camp. I deserve it for all the shit that I did, but the rest of the people, and you, Ezekiel, you don't belong here." And he says, these people need a spark. They need someone to actually rise up and motivate them. Look at all they did is that they separated us. They made us basically depressed. We need hope. I can't give hope, but I can say, damn well, I give you the spark you need. Just let me know, because Negan said basically implies that he's not going to survive this, and he basically says, I have a wife and a kid on the way, and everybody deserves better than this. So hopefully Negan won't die, but then again, we all know that Negan's getting a spinoff show with Maggie. So, that being said, we just don't know what's going to go down, but something big's going to happen.
But there was something big at the end of this episode.
Yes.
After the labor camp, they are being taken to the episode's namesake, Outpost 22. And what is Outpost 22?
Well, as you look to the left, it's Alexandria. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, as the bus rides, there it goes. There's a school bus. And then after this, pretty much ends with the doors opening, and they show the inside of Alexandria, and they get the preview for next week's episode.
Yeah. I've got to say something first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So this part of this episode, I was able to enjoy. I'm able to enjoy quite a bit. But seeing the preview, I do not give two flying shits about Eugene's court trial. I think right now the aspect of it, dealing with the zombie world while they are trying to get their people free, let my people go, that's far more interesting than seeing them sit around in a courtroom and bang a gavel, say, oh yeah, this is for order, you know what you did. I don't give two craps. This is not a law show.
I'm going to disagree because it's actually part of the plot. Basically, you're gonna see the key thing that Lance Hornsby said. The Carol, they need people to lead this country, this little area, the Commonwealth. Because if you overthrow Paramount Milton, you need someone. So this is going in that way. So in the comic books, so those who know, it was actually not Yumiko who ended up being the judge. They had a whole court system, everything. It was actually Michonne ended up being like their Supreme Court judge, or whatever of the Commonwealth. And the way they're going in that, it looks like they're definitely gonna bump up Pema Milton, because they said, as a preview says, Maggie says, we're taking back our home, and Pema Milton's not gonna see this. She's too, and it's true. Because Pema Milton comes off a person that she's not mentally there. Her son's dead now. She's not thinking straight. And also, she's kind of arrogant. She thinks that her shit don't stink. And if it does, you damn well ain't going to say anything, because if you do, you're gone. She's royalty.
You're going to love my shit.
I hope that the way she goes is they shove her outside by herself. And she has to fend herself up from the zombies and gets eaten.
She doesn't even last a minute.
But that being said, I'll say this real quickly about next week's episode preview. I'm excited because I want the whole thing with Eugene. That's going to lead to the uprising where Mercer's going to join them. There's going to be a revolt, a revolution in Commonwealth.
Yeah, I suppose we'll have to wait and see.
If only Eugene, and we need Eugene alive, because Eugene can work on the train. But then again, they already showed they got the train working. That was the whole point. That was the whole point of Eugene in the comic books. He is the only one that knew how to work on a train and get it running.
Now Eugene is just there to.
Now he can die. But that's it for this episode 21. We thank you for showing up and then for clicking on this. I mean, if you made it this far, that's cool. Leave a comment down below what your favorite part of this episode was. And also, what are you looking forward to as well as next week's episode? And if you want to help our channel, there's a few ways you can do it. We have a ko-fi.com/puppy that's going across the screen right now. What that Ko-fi link does is if you donate $1 or whatever, all your money that you donate is going to go towards basically helping out the channel. We do comic book readings on here. We also pay for the StreamYards. So we got a couple bills, But if you can't do that, you don't have the funds, don't worry about it. We just ask that you haven't subscribed, do so now. And click like, leave a comment, and share out the stream. And that's it. Because we love you guys. We're going to wrap this up, and we'll see you next week.
Love you, babies. Good night.
Brains.
I don't have one.